you defined your music as dirty funk bass, but make it pretty.
Yes.
And
Yep.
to me, like I love that so much because there's no one describing their music like when I saw that, it's like poetically raw, you know? Like it's more than authentic. It's like right off the fucking bone, dude. Like that's what your music is. Like
Totally.
I don't know. Like that's just like how I feel when you talk about your music and it's deep rooted in you. What like if you could try and describe your relationship with music, how would you describe it?
Um, it's always been a huge part of my life. Growing up, my dad was in a band and my brother was in a band, and
Mm-hmm.
we had a music den in our house growing
Nice.
up. So just like had all the instruments, and so it feels like home in that sense.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's also the making music is the only time that I can fully like turn my brain off, like yoga as well, but it's a very
Yeah.
meditative practice for me also. The act of
Interesting.
creating it.
Yeah.
Um, I love those moments where I sit down and I like lose track of time. And then at the end of like a 6-hour session, I'm just like, I have no idea how I just did that.
Out of
Like I
body.
literally like black out sometimes. And I think that's the coolest feeling ever is like you can get lost in something and just fully be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love what you said that music is home to you.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I really do. It's like I love all types of music and I like so many got into records over the past couple of years
Yeah.
and I recovered my dad's records and some of my mom's from like the 70s and 80s and like I have like their original Michael Jackson Thriller and like Bruce Springsteen Born to Run and Marvin Gaye, all that stuff. And there
Nice.
was something so like tangible about putting the record on and like hearing like the imperfections of like the old record on like my speakers. And I feel like we've grown up in a digital age where like I hit play on my iPod, I hit play on the CDJ, like whatever it is, right? And sure, there's a
Yeah.
connection there. But
Yeah.
like when you said that, like it was weird. I felt like I rediscovered music almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that
Just
seems
having
to
it
happen to
in
me.
physical form. Um, when I first started producing, I was going to record stores and digging for records and
Mm-hmm.
sampling that way, and I loved that whole process. Like the ritual of going
Yeah.
to a record store, picking up records and like
Yeah.
physically like reading it, and there's like the blurbs on the back, and like I'd learned a lot about just music and music history
Mm-hmm.
by doing that. I really miss it because I do less of it now.
Yeah.
um, I don't want to get sued, but but I got really good about masking things or not sampling really popular stuff. You got to dive a little deeper.
You gotta dive deep and then you gotta reverse it and pitch it down, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, won't get sued for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's so interesting. I've interviewed so many like Chicago house DJs who like talk about, working at a record store and they would buy all the records that would come in so that no other DJ could have those records.
Yeah.
They would black out the name of the album when they were DJing and other DJs would come up and try and look at it. And I don't know, it's just like that's not our generation. So I can't be like, how can we replicate that? But
Yeah.
it's just so
I,
interesting.
I think that, I mean, vinyl's coming back around
Yeah.
a little. People are buying vinyl records, as merch, and I think
Yeah.
it's hitting that younger generation. I
Mm-hmm.
like feel kind of responsible in like teaching the next generation about that
Me
too.
too.
Uh, you know, so I'm trying to figure that out as well. Just like maintaining that connection to like, I think that's everyone's responsibility in like passing down
Mm-hmm.
those things that we were the last people that had the connection to those things in your past.
For sure. Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm like turning into the old man that says Back in 1982, the warehouse on the west side of Chicago, Frankie Knuckles played there. You ever heard of him? Well, you like this song, and
Yeah.
that came from
You're
like,
like, well, you're about to get learned.
yeah, I'm like, I don't think they really care. But it's interesting you said that because your live shows really do have like that tangible aspect to them. And for those that haven't seen you live, you play with Ableton Live. What's your actual setup?
So I do Ableton, and then I have 2 drum pads. I have like an MPD 232. So like finger, MPC style.
Yeah.
And then I have a Roland SPDS. So I have like the drumstick aspect as well.
Dope.
And I'm trying to like use that more and more. It's that's like the newer aspect to my live show.
Okay.
But I'm playing, a lot of times 80% of my own music in my sets. It's like I made this. I can interact with it more so than just like playing a master, DJing and just doing the mixing aspect. It's more fun for me to be interactive in other ways if I have that luxury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it gives you that tangible aspect you're talking about.
Yeah. I do a lot of like, chopping of like vocal samples and, just effects as well as like drums and percussion and stuff. But yeah, it's fun.
You talked about losing yourself in the music. How much do you lose yourself in a set sometimes? It must go like,
oh yeah, 100%. Especially I felt like lately I've been playing, it went from like festival mode to like going back and playing like clubs and venues and stuff. And I'm just getting this. Sometimes you play like a really small room and the energy, the people are right here.
Yeah.
Rather than like 50, 100 feet away on a big stage. So I'm really enjoying like the contrast of that too. Cause like you can pack a lot of vibes and energy into a small room or club. Like I played in Urbana at the Canada Club couple weekends ago, and people had like bubble guns going, and like I could like feel it felt like boiler room stuff. Like, yeah. So I'm enjoying that too.
Hey, what's up? And thanks for watching that video. You looking for more content now? I got your back. Go to my YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss any upcoming exclusive artist interviews, Sherm in the Booth clips, new music, live sets, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything electronic music. Cheers.